I was just saying to Danny there that my mum used to say that if I eat too many mints, soft mints or Mentos, I would have the shits. Is that just my mum mentally trying to bully us that if my breath smells nice, my arse is going to explode? What's the situation with that? Is it just me?
I thought I told you, there's no controller in my system, baby.
I thought we'd stop and we'll talk about the benefit or negative staying on a camper van. I'm a little bit out of breath. Not Stephen staying on a camper van, staying on a campsite versus what would be maybe classed as sort of wild camping. So we'll cover a few of them as we go. The weather is beautiful today. We've climbed up pretty much most of the height. Well, we haven't actually, we've got loads to go. I'm just lying to myself to be optimistic. But yeah, so there's a lot of pluses and negatives to both. We generally mix things up a bit, and we do. I would say it's probably about 50-50-ish between sort of wild camping, if that's what you would class it as, and staying on a campsite. There's positives to both, really. So this is cheating. There's a dog on here. So I thought we'd film the athleticism of our dogs, the well-oiled machines when it comes to climbing over fences and stuff. Pretty simple process, really. Oh, look at that, some boy. And here he is, little dumpling. So we're just tidying everything up, getting everything popped away to head back home. And we've got another issue with the Grand California. So what's happened this time is if we're plugged into the mains, then the boiler doesn't work, essentially. So VW are making us choose between gas and electric. To be honest, isn't a huge problem because we have got the solar panel, but it's another issue for this camper van, which is a pain in the ass.
Hey, get out my way. Get out my way. Get out my way. Get out, get out, get out the way. Yeah, I'm burning it up. Can't take my place. I'm never giving it up. No,
Generally everyone that goes camping in a camper van, especially when you first get one, if you're a bit of the younger generation like I am, you want to go wild camping because, well, it's wild, isn't it? And you're in nature and stuff. You're not at the side of a road in Scotland wishing you'd booked a campsite. So we've just arrived, haven't we, darling?
We have.
At camp number 3.
Camp Crafton.
Hi, Camp Crafton. And signified by the old sink and whatnot over there. But you probably will be, because that's 85% of wild camping is just driving around looking for somewhere decent to stay. I know there's apps, but I've definitely not just found that app in the last week or two, I promise. I have. Honestly, the amount of time we've spent driving around looking for campsites is just baffling, but a lot of the time that is the case. And even if it's not, and you have got wild camping places to be and stuff to see, this chemical toilet, that limits you to 2 to 3 days. The water tank, about 2 to 3 days of 1 shower per day per person for 2 people. In this, roughly, you've got 3 days before you need a campsite anyway. So for me, I generally book a campsite. If we're not going to turn up, I'll give them a ring, cancel it. They keep the money, I never ask for refunds on it, and then we'll just wild camp if we've got a spot. And then worst case, we've got a backup option where we can go to a campsite. Obviously campsites aren't perfect though. You do get a few of these people. You know who you are. Who the fuck does he think he is in a non-white vehicle on this campsite? So this is Jeff. Jeff's the bell end that you see when you first get in the campsite and he's staring at you out the window of his white Swift with that cool graphics up the side, you know the one. Jeff's the bell end, but that's just because he hates his wife. Don't worry about it, don't take him personally. Realistically, darling, we're gonna have to go home. I've checked every single campsite in the UK in the last 10 minutes and they're all full till 2 weeks time. Don't worry about that. Sometimes that can fail that way, especially on the websites, because the websites from pretty much every campsite are horrendous, to be honest with you. Or it'll let you check availability on Google, but then it'll not actually tell you, and you have to go onto their website anyway. So give them a ring, and normally they'll tell you straight away, save you messing on the internet. You can ring them when you're driving if you've got one of these fancy things. I think it's called Bluetooth. I wish they'd turn that fucking music down. Is this the one that Prince Nazim used to come out to years ago? It's a banger actually, isn't it? So I get it, I totally understand campsites are not camping. Well, they are. I know they've got a bad stigma for like old men, and obviously young, hip, trendy people like myself wouldn't normally frequent such a venue. However, I do quite a bit, to be honest. And as long as you book a decent campsite, generally speaking, they've got rules, they've got a bit of a curfew. So if you're one of them people that just want to be up all night with the music on, drinking, it's probably not the best spot to go to something like that. You can book them ones where it's just a field and you park in the corner with your pals and you all have a good laugh, and that has its place as well. But you can tell when you look online whether you think it looks decent or not. Generally, I've never really had any other bad experience bar the one, which really put us off initially. But now I'm not that fussed. If I'm just sleeping somewhere and we're heading somewhere else the next day, then realistically, what difference does it make? I might as well have the facilities and stuff there as well, and empty the toilet since I piss like a greyhound. But yeah, campsites are not that bad. So don't be put off by Jeff. I know Jeff's a bit of a bell end, and his wife, she's a bitch. But ultimately, not everyone at campsites are Jeff's. Most people come over and openly ask you about your car and be inquisitive and ask a lot of varied, interesting questions about your car. Hey mate, no, I know it does look, they're just tyres, they're not, it's not four-wheel drive, nah. Cheers though. So yeah, pretty much every campsite's the same. You'll get a ton of people will cut. You what? No, I know that's what they look like, but they're just wheels and tyres. They're not, no, it's not forward, no. Cheers though. I might get a big sticker on the side that says it's not four-wheel drive. Just go wild camping. Fuck campsites.